Yes, now we see. Perfect.
Okay, this was my background I talked about. And now I was on the third slide. This is why I should be on the technical recap before we start, I guess. Anyway, okay, do you see the slide now?
Yes, looks perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so we work with energy companies, and we work with dredging companies, dredging harbors and so on. And we work with updating navigational charts, both in Sweden and in the UK. And most of our jobs are in Northern Europe, UK and Scandinavia, and some in Poland and Germany too. And for now, we are around 60 people in the company, about 50 onshore, offshore, divided in 4 departments: Geo, where I work, Hydro, Survey, and Fleet. And I will come back a little bit to this very soon. But first, something about our vessels. We have, I think we have 5 different vessels. This picture up in the right is not the most updated one. But we have 5 vessels, different sizes, and they are equipped with different instruments depending on the scope of projects. And we have geophysical instruments that are both mounted on the vessel and towed behind the vessel. So we do, I will not be too technical. I don't know, I guess we all have a bit different backgrounds, but we do mostly multi-beam surveys, sub-bottom surveys, side scan, magnetometer, and also ROV as like a robot that you send down from the boat, and you can do some camera video inspections and so on. And so the vessels are out 24/7 basically. They work in shifts on the vessels, and the data comes into the office over internet, and the people in the office in Gothenburg, we take care of the data, process and interpret and make reports and charts and so on. So here you have on the bottom left, you have, for example, an example. The gray image in the background is like a backscatter image, which basically is an intensity map. You can say when you send out sound pulses to the seafloor, it comes back with certain energy depending on what you hit. If you hit something soft and muddy, a lot of the energy will be absorbed by the seafloor. If you hit something hard, a lot of energy will come back. So based on that, you can get really nice ideas about the substrate of the seafloor and not only the depth. So on this gray picture, you can, for example, see 3 big wrecks there in the middle pretty clearly. And picture to the right bottom, you have examples of sub-bottom data on the top there, and you have bathymetry in the middle, and also more backscatter in the bottom of these 3 small pictures in the right corner in the bottom. Anyway, so what you do, or what we do here, depends on which department you work in. And as I said, we have the Geo and Hydro departments that are office-based, and we have the offshore departments, Survey and Fleet. And I work in the Geo departments, and we process and interpret sub-bottom data, side scan, mag, and backscatter. We also do charting in AutoCAD and GIS programs, and also a lot of report writing. And then we have the Hydro department, which we in the Geo work very close with, and they process the multi-beam data and do some charting and reporting as well. So naturally, I think as a geoscientist, and if you want to work here, you will most likely end up in Geo or Hydro department. But I would also say that the Survey department is of interest for many geoscientists. If you like to work on vessels and you like to more acquire the data, work in shifts, take care of the instruments, then the survey department will be of interest for you. Fleet is usually not for geoscientists, because then you need to know how to navigate a vessel and how to take care of it. So that's usually for another type of background. And I think this picture on the top right is pretty cool. It was a lake in Kiruna with a lot of dumped explosive material that the military dumped many years ago. And with a magnetometer, we could find most of it, and they could clean up the lake. So we also do this kind of operation sometimes. And on the bottom left, you have a picture of a wreck. We find many wrecks in our surveys, and most of them are already known, but we also sometimes find unknown wrecks. So if you want to work here, I can mostly talk about the geo and hydro departments. For the geo department, the requirements are a bachelor's degree in geoscience or something related to that. An okay English level, available to work from the Gothenburg office. Me, myself, I am from Stockholm, but I moved to Gothenburg for this position. EU citizen or a valid EU work permit. And then, so that's the basics, but also merits are GIS, post-processing of geophysical data, and also geophysical fieldwork. So if you have some courses, you can go out on a boat, or I know they have some marine courses like that in Stockholm. That's really good. And also GIS, of course, that's important. At the moment in the geo department, we don't have any open positions, but I know it's coming very soon for a junior geo position. But if you keep an eye out on this page there, careerclinton.se, you can either put an open application or you can wait for a specific position to come out. And I know it will happen soon. So if you're interested, have a look there. The hydro department, they have more or less the same fundamental requirements as the geo department. The merits are a little bit different. It's not really my field, so I cannot tell you too much about that. But what's cool with the hydro department is that they take in summer time workers, and that's usually students of a bachelor's or master's, in a bachelor's master's program. So if you're interested, that's a really good way of getting into Clinton. But I know that Hydro also hires, they're expanding a lot at the moment. So this link in the bottom, you can either find that by going to career.clinton.se, or you can just copy this link, and you will find a position out now as a hydrographic data processor. And as I said, we are about 60 people in the company, and you see all of our faces there to the right. It's a very young company, both in age of company, founded 2015, and also it's pretty young people working here. So it's a good first step for students after your studies. It's a very familiar and nice environment to get going, and we have a lot of fun also together after works and ski trips and stuff like that. So that's really nice. So you have a good chance if you go to our webpage now and have a look. And I cannot stay for the questions, but if you have questions, I'm sure that Felix can email them to me, and that will be fine. So thank you for listening, and good luck with your studies and the time after that too. Thank you.